Yo.
Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we need to talk. And I thought I'd bring on the best man to do that, the king of critical analysis, the GOAT, the good, the great, and the perfect, Mr.
Ooh.
Captain Papi. How are you today?
Good, my friend. I've never been called the king of critical analysis, but I'm going to take that one on the helmet because I think that's an excellent thing to be talked about. What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Captain Papi. We're back.
We're back.
Stomping
We're
Papi.
back.
Here to break some shit down. It's time.
It is time. So as you guys can see on screen right now, there's a couple of things that are up that I had put out over the last couple of days. I think I posted it, the 9th of September is when I posted it. Shout out to that date, by the way. So that was about almost a week ago, just so you guys can give your honest opinions about OPTC, the state of the game, the film red celebration, and all that kind of stuff. Because there has been a lot of frustration around in the community, and rightfully so. And there's been a lot of issues in inverted quotations that a lot of people are wanting to talk about, and I thought we'd bring them to the forefront of everyone's mind and let you guys have your say as well, whilst also, like I said, bringing Captain Papi on and talking about some of the concerns. But I do want to start the video by sort of saying this isn't us sitting here talking shit on Bandai. This is not us like saying the game sucks, blah blah blah, this needs to change, or like everyone's gonna revoke, blah blah blah. This is a critical analysis on what's going on, what as a player base we'd love to see change to make the game better, because we love this game. That's the bottom line. Yep. We do enjoy the game. We still do. Yep. Like that's the bottom line. Yep. And whilst yes, there are problems in the game, there's still things that we need to be doing as well. And as a community or as an individual, we need to recognize as well that we're not exactly the solution. We might be part of the problem as well, and we need to do our part as well. So,
big time, 100%. I echo all of that without a sentiment. Just before any of you goobers in the comment section start saying, "Oh, but Stump, you did 150 multis on the banner." Yeah, we are part of the problem as well. I wholeheartedly agree with everyone. If we want change, we have to enact that. But I think that change comes from a perspective of not just being hyperactive and complaining, but you have to provide suggestions and honest and open feedback. Saying give everyone 1,000 gems, unfortunately, isn't the answer, as much as I would love that. but in reality, we need to provide options and opinions and be critical and be constructive more so than anything with the criticisms that we provide.
Very well said, very well said. So in today's video, we're going to break down a couple of things, and the three big things that we're sort of going to structure the video on today is the amount of banners that have been going around. Now, like I said, I did go through all of these opinions that you guys see down here. I did sort of read through them as best as I possibly could, because there's a lot of opinions here as well, and I love that everyone put their opinions out, so I do really appreciate you guys for doing so. We're going to talk about the content cycle, the big C word, the content cycle. Oh, yes.
My favorite word.
And then we're also going to lead into sort of like the Film Red Sugo Fest, as well as the comparison to like the Stampede Sugo Fest. So let's have a chat about the banners, Papi. How did you feel about the 3 Super Sugo Fest?
My brother in Christ, I hate it here. It's a lot. Like, look, it's too much. If we're really gonna be honest with ourselves, it's like, I understand having a big celebration. I think that the global not the global anniversary, the actual like 8th anniversary handled it quite well, in the sense of like, yeah, there were 5 legends, that's a lot. And they were all like these 4 legends, sorry, that's a lot. And it's like, yeah, they were all exclusive characters and such too, but we're going to put everything out, 5-part banner or whatever it was, and it's all going to be available for you to pull on at your discretion. But the issue surrounding these Super Sugo Fests, I guess for me, it's going to sound a bit crazy, isn't necessarily the fact that it was 3 Sugo Fests back to back, but more so that you had part 1, 2, and 3 of each banner, and then the parts that guaranteed the characters left at such quick times, and you only left part 1 available with no guarantee of either of the new legends that had come out.
I agree.
That's where my initial concern comes in. Inherently, 3 Super Sugo Fests back to back is just obscenely stupid and doesn't make any sense, but from a financial perspective, they're lining their pockets quite nicely with doing this.
Definitely. Now, I'm going to put it to you just before we do continue on this, on the banner structures, because, like, looking at the Super Sugo Fests, the 3 that have gone back to back to back, whilst that has been a big yikes for most people, it still doesn't change the fact that we basically get this every single month. We're getting 2 to 3 Legend releases every single month anyway. But I'm going to put it to you now, like, what if they drop a part 4 that's the finale and they put all of these Legends on the same banner?
I would... Like, I mean, it is what it is, right? You can only complain, like, so much, I suppose. It would kind of suck because I know that there are a lot... I mean, your case, there's a lot of people in the community that have done an obscene amount of multis to just get these Legends alone. And to drop them all at the same time would kind of be a spit in the face, but simultaneously would make sense. If they were to just be like, here's the grandiose wrap-up, here's the encore, as people are kind of colloquializing it as... Here's the opportunity for you to get the characters that you missed out on. Would it suck for a lot of people that did a lot of multis? Absolutely. Does that really matter to them? Absolutely not.
Well said. Very well said. I definitely agree with what you were saying as well about the part 1 just sort of being extended across literally the whole celebration. Like, if you guys are looking to summon, by the way, like, obviously go to Uta's part. A lot of people in the community are saying that, yeah, Uta has the best part. But
I'd agree.
The fact is that her part is around in terms of part 1 is not guaranteed, and a big issue too, I think I saw a couple of people say too, is Chopper. Chopper's not available on any of these other banners.
Nope.
Which
nowhere to be seen.
Is kind of annoying, right? Because if you wanted to then go for Chopper on part 1, you then miss out on Ben Beckman, Lucky Roo, you miss out on Yasop and Usopp, which are technically normal legends.
Yep.
So
I think it's the bullet you bite is that, I mean, at least my perspective on things, and I think that I probably have a bit of a different perspective in terms of Sugo Fests, is that I kind of accepted the reality that I skipped Shanks completely, and I kind of accepted the reality of not getting these regular legends. I mean, I was fortunate to get Chopper. I didn't get Yasop and Usopp, but at the same time, you kind of just accept that, hey, these are regular legends, they'll come at a different point. I guess not everyone kind of has the patience to accept that. And I've played like this for like maybe 4 or 5 years of just accepting I'm never going to have every legend in the game. But I think that it's important for people to start playing in that kind of sense where you need to accept the reality that you're not going to have every legend always. And I think that it's a more healthy mindset to have when it comes to playing the game.
Yeah, definitely. It does make things a lot more exciting when it comes to like tickets. It definitely makes things a lot more exciting when it comes to
I love it.
Pulling new legends and stuff like that. And if they are going to go on this trend of Super Sugo Fest, for me, like you said at the beginning, like I've done a lot of multis, and it's very easy for me to sit here and whinge about the fact that, but 3 Super Sugo Fest. Like, I enjoy summoning, I enjoy making content, I enjoy using the legends as well. So I'm not going to sit here and complain that it's happened. However, if they are going to go on this trend of Super Sugo Fests of this sort of caliber and this frequently, what is the point of a debut banner anymore?
There's not. There's no value.
Zero value in summoning on a debut banner. And that also kills the aspect of, okay, well, you're just basically filling out these legends every single month to then satisfy whatever content that you want to release.
Correct.
And then to compensate for that, we're going to make the content so tailor-made around these specific legends that no one wants to summon on because the value banners have just left, and make it so hard for players to either attain rewards, to clear content successfully, or not literally pull their hair out, or find other means to complete the content by like auto farming or running the easier difficulty or doing something like that, and making their account feel a lot less powerful and a lot less significant than it actually is because they didn't pull the shiny new legend that came out for this month's worth of content.
Yeah, it's a very frustrating perspective to be in because I feel like the value of your account has basically become nil, more or less, because now it's a month by month basis as opposed to it just being an overall grand scheme of things. Like, do you have this unit maxed out? Do you have that unit rainbowed? Now it's like, do you have the new legend? No? All right, well, good luck for this month. But before we continue, I want to get into some statistics.
Yes.
Some numbers. You know, I'm a numbers man. I love them. Man. Current days per legend is 14.5. So every 2 weeks since the conception of global version, we've had a legend every 2 weeks at minimum right now. Wow. The current days per legend since New Year's, this includes the New Year's legends, is 6.9. So literally 1 legend per week on average at the moment. We've had 38 legends since New Year's, of which 8 of them have been Super Sugo Fest legends and 10 have been exclusive game mode legends. We have had approximately 48 Sugo Fests since New Year's as well. That includes legends, Super Sugos, TMs, Kazunas, PvPs, etc. We've had 48 free-to-play units, roughly. 66 boosters, that means TM, Kazuna, and Pirate Rumble, and 42 batch rare recruits. And of the new mechanic of Super Tandem, we've had 9 Super Tandem units.
Sorry, can you just go back to how many free-to-play characters have we gotten?
48, roughly.
And
I might have missed a few, but about 48 or so.
Only 48 since New Year's?
Since Luffy and the Straw Hats and Roger Whitebeard.
That's crazy.
And that includes that covers all game modes. So point farming units, it covers arenas, coliseums, raids, like all that kind of Kazuna. Like that's every game mode. That's 48 total.
I'll come back to that because that's atrocious. That's a big thing I want to talk about once we hit the content cycle sort of stuff. But whilst the banners in like 7 days, every 7 days we're getting a legend.
Every 7 days we get a legend now.
Like I've got it up right now, so I'm sort of just sifting through. Don't judge me for the go for tens chat comment section. I know you are. You guys will see those videos later. But look how many banners are available right now. Like support Sugo
insane.
Fest, Pirate Rumble Sugo Fest, part 1 of Uta, part 1 of Shanks, and then the 3 parts for the Luffy Super Sugo Fest.
Yep.
Whilst this is obviously a celebration in inverted quotation marks. And these banners, there's going to be more banners than usual. Like, that's a celebration sort of style of things. However, if you look at a regular month, if we go back to, say, the Hiyori and Ulti month, there was still 3 parts to that banner. There was still the One Piece Day banner. There was still a Pirate Rumble banner as well. And there was still a support banner as well. Then you chuck in your treasure map banners, you chuck in which have 3 parts, you chuck in your Kazuna banner as well.
Yeah,
we're still getting a lot of these banners every single month.
So shout out to Tony, because he was the one that got me all this information because I needed it for the award show. But in July we had, so for example, in July we had the Pell PvP banner, we had the TM banner, we had a Kazuna banner, we had a support Vivi banner, we had the movie Sugo Fest banner, we had the One Piece Day banner, and we had the Hiyori Ulti banner. 7 banners.
7 banners live, and that's a regular month.
That's. I mean, I think the current average month is about 5 separate banners. That doesn't mean parts. That means 5 bespoke content-related banners.
Content-related banners. I like that.
Content, as in you pull for the content,
which
is the unfortunate.
wait, you're saying pulling's not content?
I at this point, anything. Please, I'm a crumb of content, please.
Yeah, it's a bit like
that. But what I want to propose though is. Maybe, and this is going to sound outlandish, but I'm going to propose it regardless. Maybe the problem isn't the amount of legends, but it's the Sugo structure. Now, hear me out, right? We have an expectation, whether we like to admit it or not, that 1,500 gems is what we use to acquire a new legend. Yep. Assuming, and again, back to maths, because that's what I love. Assuming 1 legend per week, that's 4 legends a month. Going to the guarantee, and this is the worst case scenario, mind you, going to the guaranteed of those 4 legends would be a total of 6,000 gems.
Yep.
The current gems we earn... the current gems per AUD average right now, this is Australian dollar average, is 1.75 gems per dollar.
Is that with sales?
Right? That's with sales. So that's the total average. We can go anywhere from like 1.8 to about like 1.5, 1.6. So I kind of like ballparked it about 1.75 gems per dollar.
So that's restricted though. So you're not hitting that 6,000.
Exactly right. So that's not always the case. That's in a perfect world scenario, pretty much, right? So if we're going to say if we get very unlucky and we go to the guaranteed for all 4 of those legends, that's about 3,500 Australian dollars per month.
Wild,
right? Which is obscene. Keep in mind the average free to play gems per month has increased. We are now at over the last 12 months, we're about 597 gems per month on average. And that's assuming top 10% Kizuna, getting 10 mil rewards, like all that kind of stuff. So pretty minute kind of perspectives there. So take that 500 out. You're still looking at about anywhere between 2.7 to 3K AUD per month to get these 4 legends that release.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And this is just like the basics of it. This isn't accounting for rare recruits. This isn't accounting for boosters. This isn't accounting for Kizuna units, Pyrumble units, support characters. This is accounting for 4 legends only.
So, what do you propose? Like, what's your proposal?
My proposals would be, and as we've kind of perspective, here are 3 different things that I would say. What if we change the Sugo structure? What if we just flat out made every multi 30 gems, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that 30 multis would cost you 900 gems. Assuming our average free-to-play gems per month is 600, you just have to cover up the extra 300 gems. So 1 pack, hypothetically, right? Mm-hmm. That makes pulling a new legend way more accessible. On top of that, we could, if you don't want to do that, you could bring back the first multi discount and reintroduce 1 gem multis every 4 steps, which would kind of average out to about 1,100 gems per legend. That kind of works out too. Or we cut the 30 guaranteed and we bring it to 20, don't change any of the steps, and we make them all 50 gem multis, which would then average it out to 1,000 gems. I think that the golden number is about 1,000 gems for a legend would be like where we should be sitting. No more than that by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I agree.
So at least getting 600 gems per month free to play would kind of cover a lot of that. And hey, you might get lucky because 600 gems would still mean you're doing about 20 multis worth in total, right? On top of that, bring back guaranteeing boosters and Kizuna rare recruits and supports at reasonable multis. For example, in my perspective, I did 60 multis on the Uta banner, 30 on part 1, 30 on her part as well. I did not get rare recruit Brook.
That's wild.
60 multis, I didn't get a rare recruit. 60
multis without rare recruit Brook. I did 44 without Nami. I thought that was bad.
That's what I'm saying to you. Why don't we guarantee rare recruits at 357 or guarantee them on separate parts? Usually three rare recruits come out with a batch, right?
Yeah.
And there's usually 3 parts to a Sugo Fest. Guarantee a rare recruit in each part. That way, players are, in my opinion, people have disagreed with me before, probably more likely to spend their gems every month if the rare recruits are busted.
Yeah. So,
like, you know what I mean?
You kind of you've kind of tapped into my proposal here.
Go.
So, with so I've actually got the banner structure up for Shanks' part at the moment. I 100% wholeheartedly agree with you that 1,000 gems to guarantee you the new legend, that's great. Like, I definitely agree. When you are releasing sort of, say for example, like we'll take the anniversary banner, probably is a better example. I wish that this celebration was like that and all of these characters came out at the same time and they were all put on part 1. That way, if you want to run the gambit, you have the chance of pulling all 3 of these new Super Sugos on part 1. And then on your 30th multi, say for example, it doesn't change to the 1,000 gems, what you've proposed, and they keep the exact same structure of all the steps, the 30th multi be guaranteed one of the new Super Sugo legends.
Yeah.
Because they're the most valuable, they're not going to pop up anymore. Then you take the 3 legends and you put them on their own parts like they want to do. So, for example, if someone just wants Uta, they can go to Uta's part. But on the 4th multi of Uta's part, make one of the rare recruits guaranteed.
Yep.
Then on Shanks' part, because hypothetically, if we're looking at the anniversary, you don't have like your typical crazy amount of rare recruits as well. On Shanks' part, you'd make a different rare recruit guaranteed on the 4th multi.
Yep.
And then on Luffy's part, you would make another rare recruit guaranteed on the 4th multi, and then make the 5th multi very enticing for players to do the 5th multi, like a limited pool Sugo Fest, for example.
Yep.
That is going to then satisfy whatever financial quota or whatever money-making aspect anyone wants to throw about the game, making the most amount of money that they're making at this particular time, because they're still getting people to summon and look at different parts of the banners instead of solely focusing all of their free-to-play gems for when a Super Sugo Fest comes. Because with this celebration, it's kind of alluding to me that they know that people are doing this. So if they go bink, 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 all of a sudden, hang on, where do I spend my gems? It becomes a little bit harder for the community. And I think that's where a lot of this has come from about the whole 3 back-to-back Sugo Fests, because if everyone went crazy on Uta, like, honestly, bless Bandai for putting the best unit on part 1, as well as giving Bandai a huge shout out. 600 gems per month, that's a lot of gems. Like, if you're doing everything, that's a lot of gems. So kudos to Bandai for that. The rewards that we get definitely have shown in the celebration. However, I still think there just needs to be more content-wise. And I actually remember talking to you on GGP, and you said something that just radiated so true. You said, I don't give a stuff about the rewards. Give me something that has drops.
I want to fucking play the damn game.
Yeah, exactly.
Is literally playing the glow stick event on the screen right now. Yep. We've had that out for more than like 3 weeks.
And don't get me wrong, the glow sticks, they're nice. They do good. They give a lot of good XP, which is great. However,
hot shit, man.
However, yes, the drops suck. Like, I've been doing it like as we've been talking, and I think I've gotten the silver one like once.
Yep.
And I'm doing the same piece of content.
What are they scared about? Is my question. And I'm derailing the conversation, but hey, welcome to Papi and Stump's brains, right? Like, what are they scared about? You made level limit breaking a character 150 mil XP. The base jabroni, the base glow stick gives you 120k. That's over 1,000 glow sticks you require to max out one character. What are you afraid of with the drops? Same thing with rainbow turtles. What are you afraid of? I don't understand why you're scared to have players progress in the game. That's what gets me the most. I don't give a shit about your Trouble Man missions, if I'm being honest and sincere. I don't give a damn if you're going to release 100 Sugo Fests in a row. I could care less. But give me a reason, entice me, tease me to wanting to play this game every day and not just logging in for 20 minutes, doing my Pirate Rumble, getting my Gather Island, and then not looking at the game for another 3 weeks. TM comes around, play TM for the first 2 days, drop the game. Kazuna comes around, save all my tokens, play the Kazuna on the final day. Then we do the Pirate Rumble, the Jabroni Pirate Rumble, play the Pirate Rumble, sit down, don't play it anymore, rinse, repeat. What are you afraid of?
Yeah, look, 120,000 XP, whilst that's good, like you said, that's I think it's like, 1,250 of the small glow sticks to max character.
Correct.
I have the full boosted team to get the maximum amount of drops, and worst case scenario, I'm getting 19 of the small glow sticks. That's at 40 stamina.
Yep.
So you do that 10 times.
And that's still at minimum 80 runs to max out one character.
And then that's a lot. And then you also look at your set stamina consumption, the time playing, like the events, whilst it's not super
80 runs by 40 stam, 3,200 stam. You probably have about 500 stam now. Yeah. That's 60 meets. 60 meets takes 20 hours. It's 1,200 hours to get 60 meets. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of damn time, bro.
That was like, some serious quick maths too. That was impressive.
But that's what I'm saying. To you. Like, this is the things that people forget. People are so, and don't get it twisted, I'm pissed off about the banners too. But people are so blindsided, I think, by the fact that it's like, but it's 3 Super Sugo Fests back to back. I agree. I think that's horrible. But Shanks came out. What did you have to do with Shanks, Stump? What content was there for you to play with to test your Shanks out?
All of the same stuff that I've been doing with every other legend from release.
So, what about your brand new Luffy unit? What did you have to play with that one, Stump?
The exact same stuff that I did with Shanks.
There you go.
Except,
furthermore, like, come on,
for Grand
man.
Voyage, which I just literally chose a different Grand Voyage to do.
Don't even get me slow with that game mode.
Yeah, we're not touching that. We're not touching that.
Go off. But it's
they had enough time in the day to talk about that.
But what we're trying to get at is that I personally thought that if they had released a 5-part Sugo Fest, or even heck, make it a 6-part Sugo Fest if you really want to, right? But you know what they could have done? You know how like every Sugo Fest unit that released with another legend, right?
Mm.
Make part 2 Uta guaranteed at 30. Make Chopper guaranteed at 25 from part 2.
Yeah, that's
part
fair.
3. Beckman and Lucky Roo 25. Shanks 30. Part 4. Luffy 30. Yasub Usopp 25. Done. Bro, the amount of people that would do 30 multis on part 2, 3, and 4, obscene.
Yeah.
Actually obscene numbers. I guarantee you the money that they would have generated, I bet my house on it. The money that they would have generated would probably been far exceeding the amount of money that they made from releasing them all as their bespoke path. People get tired, Stump. People don't want to just go back and relive the same thing. Clean their box out after every Sugo Fest.
Oh.
People don't want to do that, you know?
I agree.
It's people just want to go. People want to go in. They want to have fun with their friends in the Discord calls or in person. They want to celebrate everyone's achievements and commiserate everyone that doesn't get the units that they were looking for, and they want to do it together. I don't want to wait 2 weeks for Shanks to come out and then another 2 weeks for Luffy to come out, and like people don't want that.
Yeah, very, 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 very well said. I think that's a very good segue into the content cycle as well.
Oh yes, love this word.
The cursed words about releasing these brand new shiny legends, and a lot of the feedback that I've actually been scrolling through and sort of like what I've been seeing here is that was the big thing, right? You gave us these 3 shiny Ferraris, and you gave us nowhere to let them go over 40 miles per hour or 40
They gave us they gave us the rug. You know the rug that has the roads on it, the toy houses and stuff like that, like the carpet. They gave us that to use our Ferraris on.
Yeah,
like come on, man.
That's been a big concern for me, and that comes back to the numbers you stated about the free to play units. There was 48 of them.
48, around 48, 50. Let's say 50.
How many legends were there
in the year? 38 so far.
38. So 10 more free to play characters.
Yeah.
Than the legends that released.
So for every legend, there's 1.2 free to play characters. Yeah, so like, come on, man.
For me, the best thing about OPTC, and it was a big reason why I left some of my other Gacha games. Some like I'm not throwing them under the rug here, but let's take Dokkan for example. Was that I would be farming a character on another Gacha game that I literally would never use. Like, never.
Yep.
And whilst, yes, the legends on OPTC, they're better than the free-to-play characters, the content is so designed to do specific things that free-to-play characters have a lot of value. When it comes to team building as well, that was another giant aspect of the game that I really, really enjoyed. And lately, a lot of that has been sort of stripped and taken away.
Yep.
A lot of the creativity and a lot of the freedom. And the free-to-play characters that we get aren't seeing the play that they usually saw because the content has not been sort of there. If we started off with a banner, the banner's usually what comes first of the month, and those said characters are then going to be, the end of the previous month, are then going to roll into the next month to be the significant characters of the month. We then have a point farming event, which gives us a point boosted list, and besides the characters that are sort of featured for that month, when are you ever utilizing the other characters that you pulled 2-3 months ago?
Yeah, there's no time.
Well, Flame mentioned it on GGP as well. He actually put it to everyone on the podcast, and he said, when was the last time you used a character from release 2 months after their release?
Never.
And besides Kuzuna,
literally never.
Besides Kuzuna and Treasure Map, you don't. However, the reason I say Treasure Map is because I play it very differently to how other people would play it.
Correct.
Because you're using the point boosted characters from the free-to-play characters. But the lack of clashes, the lack of arenas, like even arenas nowadays, like they're just gone.
Non-existent. Last arena was Katarina Devon. Think about how long ago that was.
That's
like 2-3. That's like 3 months ago.
3 months ago. That was what, Blackbeard's release?
Yeah, pretty much.
Blackbeard's release.
Yeah, pretty much.
What? It feels like we've had about 10 legends since then.
Literally.
So when you take away those free to play characters, it then makes the actual content cycle that we have a lot more challenging to digest. That's not words. A lot challenging. No, it was words. Was it words? It makes it a lot more challenging to digest, as you don't have that support for your account to take on those said events, unless you're summoning on those banners that we spoke about that don't hold value because you're doing 20 multis, spending 1,000 gems to to possibly pick up the new legend, to then use it for that month and then struggle elsewhere. Arenas, I will give arenas credit because they don't have a point boosted list, and sure, some characters pop back up, like Ace Sabo, I think, popped up on the boosted list for the Hiyori event, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
So you have, like, those kind of, like, ticks.
Those are based upon theming, though, Stump. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Those are based upon theming. My concern is that, like, I'm just going to have to wait 12 months now for when the next summer waifu thing comes out to use my Ace and Sabo again? Yeah. It shouldn't be like that. Should not be like that at all. I
agree. Now, when it comes to the content as well, it comes back to what you were saying as well about showcasing legends and stuff like that. It ends up being sort of the same content that you're replaying, and I guess that's a big part of like the gacha game, right? Like the dichotomy of like you beat the content once and it just sits there and you just don't look at it ever again, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you need to do. But if you really enjoy playing the game, you'll go back and you'll try it in different ways, and that's a big reason why I love doing content on this game, because I love doing that with new characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it also comes down to a point of like, how often do people want to see that? How often do you want to sit through that? And eventually the power creep gets to the point where it's like I no-stalled the Kid Forest with the new Luffy. And Super Saiyan
exactly.
Luffy. Like, that's not what a forest is meant to be. A forest is not meant to be a 6-minute run where you're just being specials and you're good.
No, it's not.
So, whilst I'm not saying the content cycle we have needs to stop, I think there just needs to be a little bit more added to it.
Yes.
Whilst Garp challenges are still there, and it kind of goes back to, well, I don't really care about the rewards per se. There aren't any drops for that particular event.
Yep.
Which then comes back to what you were saying, Papi. Like, you can do those things, you can make it fun with your friends. Like, we've done those Garps challenges and stuff like that in the past.
Yeah.
Which is all good and dandy, but
how much more do we have to be creative about it?
Exactly.
You know, you shouldn't have to be. The common player isn't doing that. And
exactly.
I think at the end of the day, we always forget about the mid-game player. Mm-hmm. That's the one that always gets forgotten. It's always early game or late game. The mid-game guy who's just trying to farm his shit up, he's trying to get towards the end game. He's the forgotten one, or she, or they. I should pronounce as well. They're the ones that are the forgotten ones. You know, it's not a matter of we're the end game guys. We complain there's nothing to do because we're dumb and we finish it on day one. You know, that's on us. And I fully and wholeheartedly agree. One thing I want to say, though, about Sugo Fest before I jump into my takes on the content cycle, I want to back you and Todd and that kind of stuff, because when we're spending lots of money, as you did, there's a thing called ROI, return on investment, right? Yep. When a content creator, such as Todd, such as Stump, is spending money on the game, there is a return on investment on the money that they're spending. When they create content, they make videos out of it, so there's value in them spending this kind of money. PSA, you as a regular player, do not, and I mean this wholeheartedly, you want to stick it to the man, do not purchase any more gem packs. If you really want to stick it to them, spend your free-to-play gems. You don't get the legend, too bad, we go again.
Yep.
That's what people forget. People blame these content guys. They don't understand that, unfortunately, as much as I would love the gameplay to be the content, the pools are content, and it's fucking good content too, because it itches your dopamine itch just as much as it itches the person pulling on the video. Yeah. So keep in mind that part.
That's very well said as well. 100% very well said as well. Like the fact that, like, it's all well and good to complain about the amount of banners and stuff like that, and it's rightfully justified. But then to go spend your hard-earned money on something that you are complaining about so avidly, that's what you need to take into consideration before you drop, like, all of these
hundreds. You know.
Yeah, but even like your derogatory comments at Bandai, calling them out for saying that they're exploiting the player base. Like, you are a grown person, you can make your own decisions.
You are being, unfortunately, as gruesome as this may sound, you are choosing to be exploited.
Yeah.
You know, like, I understand the game's not in the best place, and every year we do this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every year we do a State of Treasure Cruise, right? Every year, the same thing, time and time again. Nothing changes. Because I was going to mention at the very start of the video, sorry to hijack it again, but I want to say, first things first, or now like second things second, I suppose, OPTC is not developed for its global audience. Let that sink in for a second. The global audience is the minority. The game is developed for the JP players, and global is a byproduct of that. When the two versions of the game were not merged, global was its own entity in reality, because things were tailor-made for the global audience. Merging the games is a cost-saving mechanic for the development team, which we'll get into where the hell is this money going a bit later on, I suppose. That's a big one. But I want to go into some stats. They might be wrong. These are straight off Sensor Tower. Global made in August $2 million. JP made $11 million. Across both versions, Apple, Android.
That's a big difference.
That's a huge. That's an 80% difference.
That's massive.
You know, like, no, sorry, that's not 8%. That's like 400%. Sorry, I'm doing my math way wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a 450% difference.
Yeah.
Secondly, there is a different culture in Japan when it comes to gacha games. Gacha games are considered a hobby. So it's a thing that you spend money on. So it's very colloquialized and normalized in Japan for JP players to spend these exorbitant amounts of money on these mobile games, purely because they are considered hobbies in those countries. In that country, sorry, I should say. Furthermore, looking at money alone, JP makes the lion's share of the monthly income. The global's income is just a bonus, once again, leading to the idea that JP is the main driving force. And in turn, people need to recognize that global is the minority in this situation. That's not to say that we shouldn't voice our opinions. That's not to say we shouldn't stand up for our beliefs, but we should take everything that happens with a grain of salt, because the game is not developed for global. And I'm sorry that if I have to be the bearer of bad news, so be it. But the game is not developed for me, not developed for Stump, not developed for anyone. It's developed for the JP players, because they're the ones that run the gambit here. At its core, OPTC is a puzzle game. Let's be real. Yep. It's meant to be a puzzle game. But there is no longer a puzzle aspect to this game, since inherently each month is already solved. I just had to say that sentence because I thought it was really... I thought that last line. That was a good one. But that's just what it is, though, right? Facts. This segues us back into the content cycle issues, right? Because every month is already solved. I don't have to think hard when it comes to, what do I use for this point farming event? I make those auto teams Stump.
Yeah.
I'm at work. I do a run. I write down the debuffs. I put the supports in. I grab every boost that I have. It's done.
Yeah.
It takes 2 seconds. There's no puzzle aspect to it anymore. There's no challenge to building this kind of stuff. Yes, there are game modes like Grand Voyage, but hey, they've shot themselves in the foot there too by making it also a cut and paste. There's 2 teams, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that can clear the current Grand Voyage Baratia.
There's 2 teams that can clear Fuchsia City. Let's go back to the beginning.
Even there, come on now. Let's be realistic with ourselves here.
Yeah.
Are we really gonna sit there and say that Chojo Cruise is a puzzle game anymore? It's a very solved game. Have the units.
That's my with the free to play thing, as I was saying before, about stripping the creativity from the game, and that's 100% it. You give us a whole bunch of point booster teams. Yeah, sure, I could be running this particular event that you guys see on screen right now. By the way, I just got 10 of the gold drops, so shout out to that.
Let's go.
Best run I've ever had, and I've been running this for weeks, and that was the best run I've had. I could take the new characters and play this content, right? But the fact of the matter is well, if I have the boosted units, why would I not try and get as many gains for my drops per event? But then, say for example, they released a different point farming event for Usopp and Usopp and Yasop and Luffy, for example. Made you crazy chop man rewards. Like I said, big huge shout out to Bandai for the actual rewards that you get for these point farming events. Take all of the points away and then just give us a different thing to farm. It's different content.
Just bring turtles back. I don't need a unit. I don't need to farm a unit. You've already taken away I know that's kind of counterintuitive to what you're saying, but if we're talking about farming for rewards in general or a reason to actively play, if we're stripping away everything entirely, give me a reason to log in and play something.
Yeah, I get it. What I'm saying is just create a new point farming event. That doesn't have boosters or whatever, that you could just literally farm and it gives better drops. And you can just do...
Correct.
There's no character. It's just, for example, I don't know, let's just say it drops, some sort of, you remember those meats that dropped, the XP meats?
Yeah, the stack of meats, or the donuts, or fucking
bring
turtles,
them back.
Or lobsters, or, swords, or the toys, or, they're all this stuff's in the game still.
And it's just content that we can play with different characters, and you can build it. There's that cloud over your head of using point boosted characters to get extra drops, because the drops will already suffice for utilizing whatever character you like.
Correct.
Now, I do understand that people will probably sit there and say, well, why would I do that when I can then do it faster over on this particular island or do whatever? That's fine. Go do that. That's
no one's stopping you. Exactly. No one's stopping you.
Well, because those types of players, they're not the ones sitting here complaining about the content cycle. They're not sitting here about complaining there's nothing to do, because they're always doing something, right?
Correct.
So I don't want to single anyone out, like, per se, with this video, but I do know my homie Jim, shout out to him, he's always farming turtles. Always. Consistently farming turtles. So he's just ready to go whenever he needs to max a character. He's like, bink, bink, bink. He's always farming cotton candy. So for him, he's always got something to do. However, myself, I don't like sitting there and just putting.
I don't like that either. I don't want to do that.
I want to play the game. Like, I want to sit there and I want to, like, get some sort of reward for playing the game and doing different things. And I do that already without, like, getting rewards by redoing forests or Garp's Challenge Revolution Army 2.
Yep.
However, the satisfaction of completing it or doing a no-store run, that's my gain from it, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, let me throw, as we've said, we can't always be negative, so let's throw some suggestions out there too. I have a list of game modes I came up with last night.
Let's go.
Literally last night, right? And these are game modes, and for me personally, before prefacing this, I'm sick and tired of the 3-5 stage, 6 characters, do your thing. We need some innovation. Something needs to be brought in. Something new needs to be innovative. So here are my ideas, and you can flame them all you want. You can do whatever. I don't care. These are literally off the dome. First one, collection missions. Send units off for a period of time, and they come back with rewards. If the units you send off match a certain criteria, they bring back better rewards. Now there's an incentive to have a variety of different units, and you're using those units for different purposes as well. Easy.
Yeah, that's actually implemented to a lot of other games that I've actually played, and it actually never popped into my head. But that's perfect for having a whole bunch of characters in your box.
Like, for example, let's say that it's related around Marineford, hypothetically, let's say, and that particular collection mission requires you to have like a Squado, a Whitebeard, and a Kainu.
Yeah. All
right. Well, I have all those units, and maybe it requires you to have a Strength Whitebeard and a Dex Squado and a Psi Akainu. So an Int Akainu, let's say, for example, right? Yeah. We have those units.
Yeah, that's it. And if
you're capable of doing that.
But if you still send like a Squado, you'd still get some sort of extra reward.
You still get rewards. But if you send that Dex Squado, i.e. the one that's in the metal shop right now, let's say, for example, you might get back better rewards.
Yeah, and that's easy. And they could easily implement that into Gather Island.
Gather Island, exactly, right? Easy money in that sense.
Good one. I like it.
Next one, skill-based missions. Now, hold on. Let me get it a little quick. Let's hypothetically say I'm going to use TM potions or limit break potions, although they're pretty plentiful right now, let's say.
Yeah.
Let's hypothetically say you give the player 100 potions at the start of the quest. Every time you hit less than a perfect, potions break. And then at the end of the quest, you are rewarded with the potions that you still have. So you're incentivized to hit perfects now. But let's switch it up. Let's say you have to hit goods instead. Well, now I have to build a team that revolves around goods. Or better yet, let's make it greats instead too. Now bringing in Legend Tesoro, who thrives off hitting greats, right?
Yeah.
Set it like that. So now it's a skill-based mission where it's like it's going to test your tap timing ability. And you earn the rewards based upon how you fit in within that skill. You can do that with tap timing. You can do that with, let's say, order of units you hit. You could do it with the amount of units on your crew, for example, not using supports. You can make skill-based missions around the actual ability of hitting them.
Yep.
Kind of like a rhythm game, right?
Well, that's a big aspect of this game, right? Is your tap timing.
Correct. It's a very skill difference kind of game. That's what kind of creates the skill gap, is your ability to understand when to tap with a unit, how fast that goes, how to hit perfects efficiently, that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. And going back to that too, if you actually look at the mid-game player, the start to mid-game player, like those treasure map limit break potions, they're not plentiful.
Exactly.
They're not plentiful at all.
So, and you could switch that up. You can make that Kazuna potions. You can make that any item. In theory, right?
Well, yeah, any item, you could hold a bunch of them to come around. You could literally drop it, say 10, have 10 of them, and it's just an extra, you know?
Yep, exactly. Next, limit break farming. First and foremost, just release an island, a 20 or 30 stamp island that's a consistent limit break farming spot for people to sink time into. Yep. I don't expect to get 100 shards per run, even if I got 2 per run.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a reason to just farm that. Limit break items are always in requirement. It takes the burden off TM as well, so TM doesn't become such of a heated game mode on top of that too. Fantastic. But his Papi's little twist on things, why don't we make a limit break island that is akin to the old damage ranking quest? By the more damage you do, the more rewards you earn. Let's take a hypothetical situation, for example. Let's, like a poneglyph? Let's take the structure of a poneglyph and make it yellow. So these are psi materials. You build a team that goes up against a psi boss, i.e. probably an int team, let's say, and you do as much damage as possible. The more damage you do, the more rewards you earn. You can clear this once a day. It's a damage ranking event. And we cycle through each of the colors from Monday to Friday. And on the weekends, let's say we have a rainbow one.
Yep.
And let's say we have a tablet-related one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Now you have something extra to do. And you're farming limit break materials on top of that too. So let's say you do 2 billion damage. Let's say that 2 billion damage equates to 20 shards, like 5 medium crystals, 1 large crystal.
Yeah, nothing game-breaking. Just a nice,
but it's an extra little bit on top.
Yep.
And then that introduces team building. Oh, Stump eked out 2.5 bill. How did he do that? Oh, he used this support in this way and did this.
And that's ever evolving with new Legend releases as well.
There you go.
But Papi, if you could farm this all the time. Oh, wait, no, you said it was once a day, didn't you?
Once a day.
And never mind, I'll scrap that.
But if you do that, or you just release a constant island. I think there has to be a constant island.
I really like that concept as well as an island. I have a game mode. I have a game mode that I'll bring up after you're done with yours that revolves around limit break materials and farming them consistently, but then also changing the content so you're not literally sitting there doing the same content over and over and over again.
I have 3 more. See, I thought about this. See how easy it is to come up with game modes? 3 more. Next one. Why don't we look at the concept of having more than 6 units?
Okay.
In a crew. Hypothetically, let's say you have 2 crews running at the same time.
Okay.
So you have 4 captains. All the captain abilities bink every unit. So, like, you have 5 Luffys. Let's say you have double Snake Man and double this. So you might have a total of like a 25x captain boost, right? But then that makes the bosses have 25 billion HP. Right, but every turn, you can switch between the crew that you use, that's currently there. Kind of like a super swap ability, but instead it's the entire crew kind of jumps in.
So you can use different specials?
Correct. So you could say, like, I could bring Bobbin, I could bring... what was the unit that was exactly like Bobbin but better? Like, was it Brook? Yeah, I could bring Brook, so I cover these debuffs, I cover these debuffs. And then I swap the crew, and I can use this unit to get rid of this stuff. So then we can have things like 20 turns of attack down, which sounds insane, right? But we have 12 units now to cover that. We can get through that now. Bring in a new concept to playing game. Instead of, here's 6 units, here's the boosted list, let's just run through content as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah, I like that a lot, and that just like invokes so much team building.
Exactly, like you can use like so many different units, so many different support characters, like, and then also it does also fit into the idea of like you can't have the same unit twice on a crew, right?
Yeah,
so like now it gets you really thinking, all right, well, if I'm going to use a Luffy here, how am I going to get around? But like this, what do I do here? Like, but like now you're cooking with gas.
That's it.
Something different. All right. Second to last one. The last one's kind of like whatever, but this one's kind of like what I think would be amazing. Add in a bespoke puzzle mode. Now, hear me out. Drop the player in a situation where they are given a crew and have to figure out how to beat the quest.
Okay.
This player does not require... This does not require the player to have the units. But essentially what would happen is... I got this from... This is a throwback to people that played FIFA. But there's like moments in FIFA where it's like, oh, you're dropped into the game at the 72nd minute and you have to rescue the game to win.
Yeah.
Right? So you're dropped into a quest on stage 3 and you have an assortment of a crew that you have no idea what it is. And it's your job to figure out what specials to use, when to pop abilities, when to pass through to the next stage in order to beat the quest. And this can cycle once a week.
Yep.
Or it could be turned into a daily thing. It's just a puzzle mode that exists. You could probably write an algorithm that does this for you as well. I guarantee it wouldn't be that challenging to kind of figure out, I suppose. It'd just be like, pick a quest, pick some units, send them on their way. Make sure that the units that they get cover the quest's debuffs and stuff, but it's up to the player to come up with a creative way to actually beat the quest.
Yeah. So it's just like a better version of use the new Sugo characters, right?
It kind of covers the same idea, right?
But you're using like older characters, the characters,
unique characters. Like, why the hell do I have this Dex? I'm going to shout out Dex Squad. I don't know why he's the main guy of this video, but why the hell do I have this Dex Squad on the crew? But then there's a reasoning behind it. If you use him at this moment, you're going to do a little bit more damage potentially to be able to clear the quest.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that one.
And then the final thing that I have is like speed runs. Dokkan has a timer associated to their quests that kind of like indicates how quickly you did it. Inherently, this is open to cheaters, fair enough. So let's not make it a ranking thing, please.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Same thing, akin to damage ranking without the actual ranking aspect of it. But you choose a bit of content. They let's say Raid Mihawk, right? They set three times for a player to beat, like the bronze, silver, and gold times, and maybe there's like a platinum time or the like a rainbow one, and you give rewards to the player based upon that time. Resets every week.
Yeah, I really, really, really like that one because like as an endgame player, and I've been doing this one with like new units, old content, going back and doing those old runs. Like most of the time when I'm team building for them, I'm just trying to find faster ways to do it, like no stalling. Correct. Like cooldowns, all that sort of stuff. Like, as fast as I possibly can, because the content is quite old. And
exactly.
The power creep has hit significantly.
It's easy, but how fast are you at doing it, though? You know what I mean?
Well, that's
are you
the thing,
able to
right? Like,
under the pressure of it?
That would also open the door to make it faster. And like you said, you don't have to like give us these crazy rewards. Like, even
I don't need these mental rewards. If you give me like 10, maybe 5 gems a week come from this speedrunning thing.
Not even. Like, I was going to say even limit break materials.
Exactly.
Kazuna potions.
Kazuna potions. Tablets, please, Bandai, give me more gold tablets. And this is I did write notes for revamping TM, Pirate Rumble, and Kazuna. I don't know if we want to get into those, but like just to give Stump his light of his game mode ideas. That's like 6 game modes that I thought of overnight.
Yes, very good.
Right, and I'm not paid to do that.
They're all free, man. If anyone's watching, by the way, like
please, Yoshi, take them.
They're yours. They're yours.
You know, this is your IP, this is your product. Take them and use them right. But if Bandai's turning over an average of, let's say, $6 million per month, use that money, invest in an innovation team, invest in research and development, invest in creativity, and give us something new to do. Do away with the content cycle that is only 3 to 5 stage boss, clear the boss, get some drops, call it a day. Bring something new into the game. Spice it up a little bit. Make something fun out of things. Yeah, we can create our own fun as players, but not everyone has the time and not everyone has the connections too. We're very fortunate. We have a community that's ever bustling and that we're able to hop into a Discord call with like 5 guys and be like, all right, let's try to beat this raid by doing this. Remember when Grand Voyage Bride came out? We had like 15 people in that call.
Yeah, that call was insane.
And people were just puzzling and questioning and theorizing. That's where Treasure Cruise is fun.
Yep.
That's what we need to pursue more.
Yeah, I actually love every single one of those game modes. It's just like it's a whole different way of playing. It brings back all of the things that you love about the game. Yep. The team building aspects, the having that depth to the box, having all of those different like concepts of being like, okay, what am I going to do now? I do understand that this is also coming from, again, like end game players. Myself and Papi, right. We have played this game for a while, and newer players, they're not going to have the ability to do everything that we can do on release. But at the same time, that's the whole point of these types of games.
Correct.
You're not meant to be able to complete everything on day dot. I remember when I first started playing the game, and I couldn't complete like Chaos Colosseums, but there was I can't remember, that Exhibition, is that what they're called?
Yeah, Exhibition was the lower one.
Yeah, so I was doing that. I'd pick up my 1 copy of the character, and it would kind of sit in my box, and I would have it there in case I ever wanted to use it or needed to use it.
Correct.
And then once it came back, I did the Chaos, and I had that double satisfaction of beating the game. Now, all of these game modes that Papi's like put out there, I imagine they're not going to be crazy hard. Like, they're going to have their crazy hard aspects about it, like Grand Voyage has at level 5. Probably not to that extent, though. Let's not go too crazy. But at the same time, it would still be available for newer players. It'd still be available for mid-game players, and coming through the ranks and saying, well, hang on, like, that's very overwhelming for new players. There's so much to do. At the end of the day, like, there should always be something to do. Always.
Correct. There always should be. There should be something to do. And if there isn't a bespoke thing to do, that's also the word of today, bespoke. If there isn't a bespoke thing to do in the game, there should be something I can choose to sink my time into where I get a reward. I understand that people that farm for candy and farm for turtles, that's great. But there should be a game mode. Because, for example, farming for candy, you go back to an old Coliseum and you have to re-up on your recollection archive tomes or whatever it is to get more points to reactivate the Coliseum to do that. Well, farming turtles, like, you farm the 5-stam ones. I get that too. But it's like, give me a limit break island.
Yeah.
That's all we've been asking for so long. Let me just sit there, hit auto, or make it a little bit more challenging so auto might not work. Make it 30 stamina so we consume a lot of stamina too. Like, these are all things that you can do that people will be satisfied. At least if I'm streaming Treasure Cruise, I don't have to come up with wacky ways to play the game anymore. I don't have to just stream playing TM. I can stream myself farming limit break materials and having a conversation with the chat.
Yeah.
It's all different ways to play the game.
Yeah, definitely agree. That sort of stems into my game idea, actually. Like I said, we're not here to sort of say the content we have sucks and it's trash and blah, blah, blah. We're here to give constructive criticism on what we think could make the game better and ways to turn this game into something more. So my proposition of a game mode is very similar to like a tower sort of built game. I've played versions of it in stuff like Dokkan. I've played versions of it in stuff like Seven Deadly Sins, Legends. Lots of other like games have implemented their own versions, and I would love to see OPTC do the same. And that's where you can farm limit break crystals. It would be like a tower system where it's not an infinite tower system. Say have 5 levels. Each level has like 4 mini bosses, and make it sort of tailored around. Like you could easily label it Impel Down for OPTC. Like
literally, we're an Impel Down.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. We're an Impel Down. You're at the very bottom. You have to escape.
Yeah, and it starts. You start at the top. You got to go down. You got to go down and make it 10 levels, and then you got to go back up. However, they get creative with it is great. But obviously, as you go further up, like it gets harder and harder.
Correct.
And each boss is sort of it's just like a one boss thing. Like it's no, like you get your special charge straight away. And you go in, when you use the characters that you use to go in, you can't use them again. You got to choose 100 characters, 200 characters, 300 characters, whatever it is. Choose like a team, and if that team doesn't beat it, then you cannot use those characters again for the rest of the bosses. And there's like 25 bosses. So you use Bobbins on the first fight to get rid of 5 turns of attack down. Bad. You then can't use Bobbins later.
See you later, bud.
Yeah. See you later. So it makes you think, okay, well, where can I use said characters and whatnot to beat particular pieces of content? And also, you have to go through it to find out what the content does. So, for example, I used Bobbins on the first turn, and it's like, oh crap, and then I go down to level 3, I was like, man, Bobbins would have been so good here. Like, so good for this fight. But I don't know that until I get there. So it makes me think about what characters I'm going to use, and I'll either have to leave and then go back in. Like, all of these different ideas of just making us use characters in our box, building different teams to beat said content, then removing those characters so we can't just like go, okay, I've got one super OP team that can just beat everything. And then actually give us drops from that. Like I said, I'll take one crystal. One limit break crystal. Like that's the only drop you get. You might have a chance of getting 5, you might have a chance of 10. And you can do that as many times as you like. As many times. And that will also change the factors. Okay, well, I then have to memorize the content, or I can just build different teams to do it. I can literally go, okay, sweet, I'm going to use a bullet team this time. All right, I'm going to use a different strength-based team. And then every single month, use the exact same layout of the content, but then change the color. Yeah. So then instead of this month, I used a strength team for the first stage. Okay, now I'm using an int team.
Or just randomize it. Just randomize it. Make every day you're going to wake up. It might be 6 times in a row, hypothetically, let's say. You know, but every day it's different. I want to continue piggyback off that. Punish the player. Let's have a system in place that, depending on how many you clear, you get the rewards at the end of the week. Let's say, right? Hypothetically, let's take the situation. Stump's tried to go to stage 3 to clear with Bobbin. He's failed. Bobbin's no longer active. But I really I think I need Bobbin for blah 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 in the future. All right, allow the player to forfeit their rewards for the previous stages and try again with their new box.
And
right?
Go back in.
But you've forfeited the rewards. So if you get to stage 20 and you're running out of options, well, you could, if you want to clear it, forfeit the rewards for the previous 19 stages.
Yep.
And go back in and clear it to the very end. Give them the option to do that.
Yep.
On top of that, I don't understand why we haven't done this, but why does the Limit Break Island in the Gather Island have the little X2, X3 number on it, and that hasn't been introduced for drops in general?
That's a good point, actually.
Why don't we bring that to TM, bring that to Kazuna, because Kazuna tickets do it, right? Why don't we bring that in? So, for example, in your situation where you're saying, like, drop A shard but have it say X4.
Times 4, times 5, yeah.
Like, come on. Like, this is things that, like, should be so basic in reality, right?
Yeah, and that also comes back
should
down...
occur.
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm saying it should be things that just occur. Like, it's so simple. The game modes are right in front of your face. It really is not that hard to innovate. I understand, but you have to do development time, blah, 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 but you're making $10 million a month. You have the time.
That's exactly what I was about
you have the resources. Like, you can do this.
The resources are there. The money's there. And at the end of the day, this game is, 8 years old now?
8 years old.
We just had an 8th anniversary. Like, over time, if you keep putting out the same stuff, sure, you're making the most amount of money you can possibly make right now. But let's say, hypothetically, we're in the final saga of One Piece for the manga readers. Yeah. What happens when One Piece ends?
Yeah.
What happens then? When there is no hype around releasing a Wano Kaido, because that is the relevant piece of content that is available in the One Piece world. Yep. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not ready to live in a world where One Piece doesn't release weekly. I'm not ready for that either. However, that is a time that will come. Where will this game be then? If the content stays the same and it's the same content cycle, all of a sudden a East Blue Luffy doesn't seem that exciting anymore. Because
no, not at all.
It could be because it's so nostalgic, but the end game Luffy might not be as enticing 3 months after One Piece ends.
Correct.
And without these innovating types of content and changing up the content cycle, or not even changing the content cycle, having the same content cycle that what they have and adding
more
to it.
Yeah,
who knows?
What they need.
Take those 6 game modes that you mentioned, Papi, do them monthly, have them on a monthly rotation, and then slowly integrate them more and more, so it's not so overwhelming to digest.
Mm-hmm.
Remove stuff, take away Pirate Rumble for a month. Don't have a Pirate Rumble.
I think that's also a fantastic point that I think people have unfortunately also missed out on too, is that we don't, if we're not going to do free-to-play units, right? Let's go back to this topic. If we're not going to do free-to-play units, well, what's the point in having Pirate Rumble every month? What's the point in having Kazuna every month? What's the point in having TM every month? I get that the reason why we have them is to have the rewards from them. I understand. But instead, why don't we have variants? Why don't we have another limit break farming event? So you have TM and something. Another Kazuna-related event. Kazuna and something. Another Pirate Rumble-related event. Pirate Rumble and something. So alternate them. It's like what they should have done with Grand Voyage, right? It should have been Garp Challenge 1 month, Grand Voyage the next month. Garp Challenge 1 month, Grand Voyage the next month. Should have been this constant thing.
I still scratch my head to why Garp's Challenge was removed.
That conversation may last 12 hours.
We'll just quickly touch on it quickly, because I think it does need to be said.
Go for it. No,
Garp's
I think so
challenges
too.
were the epitome of team building. They were not super hard. They were not crazy, sure. Some people would just run through them and just get the fastest team to possibly do it. But there'd be some months where you're OPTC is more hype than the previous month, and you wanted to play it a little bit more. And the easiest way to do that was to dive into your Garbs challenges and run a totally different team to what you'd already had saved in your character log. Sure, if the game wanted to remove the gems or the rewards were too much for the economy of the game, whatever that is, just reduce them drastically. reduce them so significantly.
The crazy part is we're getting more gems than ever, though.
Exactly.
So, like, the argument of being like, but they removed GARP challenges to move down a gem. It's like, my brother in Christ, we get 50 gems for free from playing the point farming event 300 times.
Event, right? Yeah.
Like, it's like, come on, man. Like,
so, yeah, that was what I was literally about to touch on. Like, compensate by taking them from somewhere else.
Yeah,
and then there's more things to do for the same amount of rewards. And I get that you have your hardcore grinders. I totally understand that you have these people that want to go top 10 for treasure map, but in my opinion, it shouldn't be as grindy as it is as a community. And I think that it is so grindy because there is such limited things to do. Like, during treasure map time, does anyone even do their like dailies? Like you're forced to do your dailies.
Hell no, brother. I don't do shit.
All you do is treasure map, right? Because it's only available for that certain period of time. And if you don't, you might lose your rank, or you might not hit that milestone that you need because you're banking on free stamina.
Yep.
If they took that sort of away and had other areas to grind said materials, people aren't going to feel as bad. And I do want to state too, by the way, you don't have to do everything every single day. If you miss a day...
No, correct.
If you miss a day where you don't do your Pirate Rumble, if you miss a day where you forget to do your Tome Island and you miss a gem, like, sure, I'd recommend getting in and doing it. It's not the end of the world. It's the game's still going to be there tomorrow. You're going to still be able to get those replenished rewards tomorrow. And I think having more of that available in the game, it's just going to make it a much more enjoyable time. But it also brings the fact of the matter of, where is all this money going?
Brother, it's going... Yoshi's got a golden toilet.
Like,
I don't know. But I think it's... that's the hardest question to answer.
Yeah, and like at the end of the day, like, I don't need to have the exact answer.
Correct.
But I would love to be like to see it going somewhere. Like,
I agree.
Like, oh, okay, they've done this in the game, and whilst it might be so small, it's like, okay, I can understand that you need the development team. You need to pay people. Like, I can understand all of that, and at least it's a direction that's not leading down either a gloomier direction or the same one that we've been digesting for the last 7 years.
Agree.
And the fact is too,
everything's agreed.
The fact is like they've already done stuff like this as well. Like, they've already implemented into the game. Like, take Garb challenges for example. The idea's already there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that it leads into the idea of like what happened to the content that was already in the game, right? Like, here are some of my suggestions as well. Content cycle is old as hell. Like, we need to do some hot shit. That's also the phrase for this video as well.
That's the meat and potatoes.
Cycle old content into each week and create, again, bespoke Chopper Man missions for them. Only use 5 units in the crew. Only have certain classes. Only use certain colors. Only use certain characters. I think Broken Famous, one of the Dynasty OGs and Reddit OGs, he replied with eloquently, we have 6+ years of content that they can easily touch on and bring back at any point.
Yep.
You know, and then doing this offers a new way of distributing rewards. Heck, maybe it's time to bring back Neo content. Whoa, Papi, what the hell? Neo content? You hate Neo content. I do. But maybe it's time to bring it back. Maybe it's time to take Raid Mihawk, which obviously he already has one. Let's say Clash Ace, right? That's Strength Ace. Maybe it's time to take the exact same structure, change the colors, change a few of the mechanics, and release him as a quick unit.
So I have a very good idea that actually you just sort of sparked in me that I'd totally forgotten about until now. With Level Limit Break, why not give all of these old Clash units 5+, add a new stage, like another 60 stamina stage, where it's now designed for the content, also the characters we have, so it's tailored around the power creep, totally revitalize the characters. Say, for example, like, let's just take Clash Mihawk. What? He's a 30% HP cutter, that's all he does, right?
Yeah.
What if that 30% HP cut now goes through just really basic, normal attacks only?
Yeah.
And all defensive effects. And that's all it did. As a 5+, and then you buff his captain ability, but who gives a crap about that? Then do some cool stuff with Rumble. Give him some better Rumble abilities. You don't, because no one's using them as a captain, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It gives you an option for using Clash Mihawk on a slasher team that's now not the greatest, but then could buff it.
Yeah.
That will also create harder content. Will create new free-to-play characters that technically they already have all they've done then is just take some of all that money that they've been earning, paying someone to create a new art, and add harder mechanics.
Done. Literally done. Sorted. Capiche.
But that's easy. A very good point as well. Like just taking content that's already there.
There's so much content. Like Bless Bandai. There's so many raids, Colosseums, Fortnites, previous Blitz battles, point farming events. Like I'll go back and fucking farm Rice Light if I have to. Bring it back. Like even if like imagine if it was like raid of the week is Raid Mihawk, for example. And if you clear Raid Mihawk 20 times, you get 10 gems. Yeah. That's all you need to do. Done. Capiche?
Well, even still, even give us, like, say, 50 green Hime turtles.
Beautiful.
Like that.
Or give us one level limit break poster for clearing Raid Mihawk 20 times this week.
Yep.
You know? Like, give us a limit break pack. You know, even if it's 20 shards and 5 medium crystals and 1 large one, even though that's dog shit in comparison to what we need to level limit breaker character, to limit break expanded character, give us a reason to want to be pursuing and play these modes as well. Yep. You know, like I mean, I don't know how deep we want to get into it, but like, for example, like TM, for example, add the little icon of 2x and 3x limit break materials, reduce the cost. Reduce the cost of limit break materials in the ticket shop. Reduce the cost of tablets. Make gold tablets purchasable in the shop. Make free-to-play units have higher point boosts, so there's an incentive to farm the free-to-play content for those that struggle with point boosters and struggling with points. 50 runs to get to 10 mil is too much for TM.
Yeah.
It should be a maximum of 25 to 30 for 10 mil. And heck, you could even have a way where if you want people to do large amounts of runs, expand your points past 10 mil, increase the point boost for units so that you can acquire points faster, and because it's an exponential growth, maybe increase the base amount of points earned after every single run. The same way that it upgrades in Kizuna, upgrade in TM. Pirate Rumble revamp. Increase the amount of matches from 3 to 5. Allow us to challenge our friends. Restructure the refresh system so we punish players for refreshing too much. Limit the amount of refreshes someone can do. Add a point/multiplier reward for successive wins. So if you have 5 successive wins in a row where you haven't refreshed, you now get 2x the amount of points and tickets, right? Actually do something with the rules in Pirate Rumble. Stump, there's been rules in Pirate Rumble since the first day. Who checks them?
I'd forgotten about them until you just mentioned them.
Make the rules different. Ban colors, ban classes, ban units. You know that they reduce cost of units that come out that month as well?
I did remember that one. Because they
make that happen as a
because
TM
they flash, and I'm so used to seeing point boost.
Like, what the hell? Why is this unit flashing? Oh, it's 20 costs this time.
Yeah.
Make a TM list, but for Pirate Rumble. Make 20 or 30 units have reduced costs. Let me put like 7 legends on the team, because fuck it, that'd be sick. You know, do some hot shit there. Add more islands, add more things to the Gather Island. Kizuna potions, insignias, team and PvP tickets are available. Make mini games, add collection quests. Here we go. Kizuna revamp. If you're going to increase the base HP, increase the amount of tickets we earn per boss kill. Reduce the amount of cola and berry. Reduce the amount of tomes. Increase the number of tablets. Introduce a gold tablet that you can earn once per Kizuna. Maybe in box 6, right? So make it so now there's a second way to earn gold tablets too. Yeah. Include insignias in box 7. Cap box 7 at 1k items each time, super boss or not. Give ticket boosts the same way that TM does point boosts. Come on, man. It's so plain and obvious. Let me have 6 1.2x ticket boosters on a team that are orders a random assortment of free-to-play units and previous legends from previous months. Give more tokens per stam. Kizuna potions are some of the rarest items in the game right now.
They are.
Let them have more value.
Besides the final tap and the T&D tablets, they would be be the most rare.
You know, like, and I'm sorry, I went on a ramble there. I apologize.
I was actually going to give you a standing ovation when you were done. I was ready to go.
But like, people, this was all thought of in my head at 11:30 p.m. drinking a Monster Energy drink after the gym. That's literally, it's that easy.
Yeah.
All of these things make it crazy. Imagine if Pirate Rumble punished you for refreshing, right? Or it capped how many refreshes you could do. So the player had an incentive to build, again, here's our favorite word of today, bespoke teams to beat the opponents that they have to challenge right now. Increase the amount of options for a player diverse. Make it 5 options instead of 3. Like, we need to... We're not asking you to make a whole new game mode. Whilst that would be amazing, we're not asking for that per se. But what we are asking for is for you to look at the content you already have developed, the hard work you've already put into the game. We appreciate that. Don't get it twisted. But look at that content that we already have and switch it up. Change it. Innovate on what you already have there. The base code, the base programming, the base servers are all there already, ready to go. You just need to tweak some numbers, add some variables, change some things. It's not going to be done overnight, like you said at the very start of today's episode. You can't expect any of this to happen overnight, but do it. Stump, we don't even have a way to convert our limit break materials. Every gacha game, 7DS, you could convert it from like bronze to silver to gold or wherever it was, right?
True.
You can convert it between the bigger numbers. Let me convert a big crystal into medium crystals into small shards.
Yeah, that's facts.
Let me swap between colors.
Yeah, trade like, three yellows for one purple.
There you go. How many big crystals do you have? Like 500 plus, maybe?
Oh, so many.
It only takes 18 to limit break. It only takes 18 to limit break expand a character, whereas it takes 400 shards to do so. Yep. Let me grab 200 of those big balls and fucking put them in the grinder. Pause on that, and that was a gruesome image for everyone listening. but let me make all of those into shards.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
Yeah, well, I think you nailed it perfectly when you stated that take the content you already have and be innovative with it. And again, it's already happened in the game. Like, we've had Chopper Man missions to complete content, like a GARP challenge by running a full side team.
It's already there.
Like, it's already there. And like the Clash Mihawk one was like the best thing to do because like that was the first Clash, right? Clash Mihawk was the very first Clash.
Yeah.
What happens if they made that the very first Clash Super Evolution? All of a sudden, that Mihawk is now relevant. The content is now relevant again. Plus, you have it as Clash of the Week, like you brought up. The newer players can then dive in,
sick.
And it's in front of them.
There you go.
And they can farm it out at the same time. So you're appealing to both demographics.
Beautiful.
It gives people something to build towards and grow towards. Now, Grand Voyage, whilst that's one thing, Pirate Rumble was the game mode before that, and then was Kazuna the game mode before that?
Kazuna, pretty much, yeah. Kazuna was before that, and then TM.
Treasure Map was before that. So Kazuna when Kazuna first came out, it was glorious. Like, I really loved it.
Kazuna when it first came out.
And like the super boss, like the team building aspect and getting together with friends, it's still very, very good. I still very enjoy it. Even Treasure Map, like building my Treasure Map teams and playing Treasure Map for the first day or two, I have a lot of enjoyment doing so. So like, whilst, yeah, sure, those game modes need to be revamped in whatever ways, they still hold so much value to the game. But then I look at something like Rumble, and I look at something like Grand Voyage, which are the two latest game modes to be released. They are just not it. They're not.
Oh, suck. They suck.
Yeah, like it's not it. And I understand it, like, I think these are your words, that Grand Voyage is meant to be the content that stands the test of time. You can do it whenever you want, and that's what you build towards.
Meant to be, exactly.
Yeah. And I'm not saying don't have it in the game. Like, I'm not saying that at all.
Yep.
I'm saying that there just needs to be something else to then mask the fact of, oh, I can't do that. So right now, for example, like, I can't beat level 5 at, what's his name? The Beriate. I could do it. Yeah. Shout out to the GOATs of Conti with his
that's fucking crazy. Team. But even that, come on, man. That's
49
times just to get the resilience hit. Come on, dog.
I'm not going to sit there and try and get that resilience hit over and over again for the rewards
absolutely
that it
not.
gives.
No way.
And to me, there's no satisfaction in winning like that. Yes, it is in the game. The tomes are in the game. It is a way of playing the game. But to me, that is not fun. That is not enjoyable to sit there consistently and just try for that small chance to beat a piece of content that is then gone. Like, it's basically gone, right? Unless you're running it with innovative teams or whatever we spoke about earlier. There's no reason to do it again. So in my mind, I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm going to come back to it. But as an endgame player, that is fresh in my brain until like Treasure Map comes around or Kazuna comes around as the only thing that I can't do in the game.
Yeah.
And as a completionist, as an endgame player, that is like low-key triggering.
Yeah, of course.
That I can't beat it. You guys see how many summons I do. You guys see the amount of investment I have in the game, and I can't beat that piece of content. And that is very frustrating. What does that
say to the game, though?
Sorry?
That doesn't say the content's challenging.
No, well, that's a whole different kettle of fish. But like, if you gave me something else to do, if there's other things to do throughout the week besides just farming the event that you guys have been seeing for the last hour on screen, that would mask the fact that, okay, I don't care about it. You know, it's that once I pull the Sanjis, once I pull the Jinbeis, or new characters come along to beat it, then sweet, I'll start thinking about it again. Does that make sense?
I agree. Every single item in this game should be farmable as an island. Limit break materials, level limit break posters, tablets, potions, every single item should be.
Yeah.
On top of that, I don't want to start ripping into Grand Voyage because it literally has only been out for like 4 months. There's not. I think the problems already speak for themselves. But what if there was a reset button that you could do once every couple months, and that reset button allows you to regain those rewards?
For what the rewards are, I would be 100% down for. 100%
you know what I mean?
Down for.
That means that you can keep with the same mantra of just adding +5 every time and, adding an extra 2 posters and gems and bounty and whatever. But maybe every 3 months or whatever they decide to do it, add in a reset button. So then there's an incentive for you to play, but don't time pressure them still. Make the reset button stack, but you can only use it once every X amount of time. So you don't get overpowered and start like 10 resets and then hit 10 resets in a row, right?
That's what I was going to say. Like how would, that might be my only discretion of like, okay, well, because at the end of the day, like Grand Voyage, you only need the one team to beat it, right? Once you have the team and you beat it, you're good. And if you could just refresh it once a month, and you stockpile them, then you're going to be like cracked for whatever.
So set a limit on how many you can use a month.
Yeah, like
hypothetically.
Just have one per month, but yeah, have them
one reset per month. So if you're the fatty whale that can clear all of them, obviously you deserve to earn those rewards.
Yeah.
If you're the newbie player that can get 20 out of 40, hey, that's great. You still got 20 out of 40. You can hit a reset, get all those gems again, get all those materials again. And then now this is a kind of way to farm level limit break posters.
Mm.
That's not even that good of an idea, but that's another option they can chuck into Grand Voyage.
Yeah.
It's these kinds of things where like you've done the hard work of creating the actual event and the content. Use it. I don't care if I have to verse Mihawk 12 times with like 6 different teams, but give me the option to do that and reward the player from doing that too. Furthermore, I don't even give a damn if there's no rewards. I just want to farm something. There's so many gacha games. Remember when like 7DS first came out? You used to leave your PC running on overnight to farm the books, right?
Yeah.
Like that. Like whilst that sounds crazy, that was kind of cool. Yeah. It was something that was just constantly getting done. Like it's a reasoning behind it. Like one of the biggest resolutions to Treasure Cruise would be skip tickets.
Yeah.
Easy money, free. Just there you go. That's another freaking idea. You can have it too.
Yeah, like that one's not even ours. Like
exactly. That's not even our idea, but you should add it in.
Yeah,
it's just like, why not level limit break free to play units?
That then opens up a whole new an item to farm in the game, which you could then create content around that you could play and get skip tickets to farm content that you probably don't need as much, or B, you don't have time to do.
Correct. Done. Same. It's all about time save. Same thing as the idea of like when you beat a mini boss in TM, you should be able to potentially skip it, but maybe that's at the cost of making the final boss have more HP.
Yeah, for example, honestly, have the same mechanics and just stack the HP from said mini boss on the map into the boss's HP.
So now it's faster for you, but and that's what me and StumpD. I know we've been here for a long time, but that's what we're trying to get at with this whole entire discussion is the point that there has to be give and take. It can't purely just be give, or take. It's a two-way street here. And if Bandai want to introduce boss skipping for TM, they have to introduce a punishment for the player for doing so.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It has to be give and take in that sense. It can't just be all easy because then what's the value in this being a puzzle game and being challenging on the same kiln?
Exactly. Well, that comes back to that word that you were saying before. This is a puzzle game, and I do still want to give Bandai like a huge shout out. Like the rewards for this celebration have been
massive
on the celebration caliber. It's just been like, okay, now I've got the rewards. This is great, and I guess yes, that's what players want in a sense. But at the same time, we can't then all sit around and say, well, hang on, there's no content, right? Because they gave us everything they want in a short amount of time.
Exactly.
This point farming event, the rewards for this event they are so good. Like,
they are.
They are so freaking good.
Yep.
But for me, my trade-off would be like, I would like you to take half of those rewards and put them somewhere else. Yep. So it's something else I want to do, like that I want to do. Yep. And again, it comes back to like heavy grinders saying, well, I need that downtime to play, like to not play the game. I'm like, okay, well, I guess that there's players like that, but you're getting all of your rewards, all your limit break material rewards from Treasure Map. So you don't need to farm these other islands. You don't need to farm.
No, you have no reason to.
You have no reason to do that. Just let it sit there, let it time out for the day or the week or the month or whatever it is, because you don't need to do it. Because you've sunk your time into Treasure Map, which is great.
It's and that's opening options. Is that opening options for people to play how they want to play? I get it that like, and the thing we haven't discussed because I don't want to, it's going to take forever, is like the whole reason why these other kind of game modes exist is it's a selling mechanic, right? Because they want to make it easy for you to farm these modes, so they release boosters and this and that. Like obviously, opening up options means that people are going to be less incentivized to spend money. But then in that sense, right, make TM's rewards like crazy in the sense that like there's now more of an incentive for you to want to farm TM. Yeah, it's just you have to do the give and take. Like seller, you like end of the day, like it's a marketing ploy, it's a scheme. Like make something that entices me to pull, entices me to play, entices me to spend more time in your app. That's what you want at the end of the day. You want time spent in the app to be at an all-time high. Retention is the key factor in all of these things.
That's it. That's 100% it. Just the retention of people playing the game, not being an active account because I log into the game daily to get my free gem, so that way I have enough gems to summon on the next big banner. So, like I said, I do want to give a huge shout out to Bandai for the rewards that they do give us.
Totally.
They are there and stuff like that, but at the same time, the trend that I'm starting to see is that they'll release a quality of life, they'll give extra gems per month, and they'll compensate for other things that they're doing, which are then causing ripple effects throughout the game, like summoning for new units to have to pull on the new banners to beat the new content easier, or to make Treasure Map easier and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it does come down to you as well. You as the player, it does come down to you. You don't have to summon on every single banner.
Amen. Let them know. Let them know, dude.
You do not need to summon on Shanks' banner. And he's a super best, and I'm the biggest Shanks simp in the world. That is coming from me.
Let them know.
You don't even need Luffy.
No.
Hell, you don't even need Uta.
You don't need any legends if I'm being real with you.
Look, I'll argue that there is like 3 legends that you probably should chase if you want to do that end game stuff and be those big numbers and plan your account to the perfection of completing the game at its highest level, or whatever you want to call it. But that also comes down to what you value most in the game. Is it Kazuna? Is it Treasure Map? Is it Pirate Rumble? Like Kaido, Straw Hat Crew V2, and probably Whitebeard Roger are the 3 characters that you probably want to chase if you were chasing any characters on the list. They're the ones that I'll accept the argument for, but still don't radiate to what I'm about to say. You do not need any legend in this game.
Yep.
All you need is a friend captain.
Yep.
That is all you need. Yes, it'll be more challenging. Yes, you won't have the highest points. Yes, it might take longer runs, which then can in turn turn around. You could comment on this video and say, well, Stump, Papi, I already have so much to do because I don't summon for every legend and I don't have crazy friends lists and stuff like that. And honestly, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Link in the description, by the way, for the Discord if you guys want to make more friends and come over and talk to people and stuff like that as well. Do that as well. But at the end of the day, saving those gems and summoning on these big banners, then maximizing your account over time is the way you should be playing. Hands down.
I'll let him in on a little secret stump, little thing we call the Papi gem strategy, as I would like to colloquialize it as. When you get a gem mail, you let it sit in your mailbox.
Yeah.
That's the first step, right? Second step, only pull on big events. And yes, is it boring? Absolutely. Do I get jealous of my friends having all the legends? Absolutely. Do I care? Absolutely not. I can still clear the content in the same amount of time. I can still clear it just as well as anyone else. I can still play this game and have my own fun in it. Again, take it with a grain of salt. This is how I enjoy to play the game. Not everyone else is going to be in the same level. People want to have all the legends. People want to have everything rainbowed. For me, I don't really care about either of those factors whatsoever. But if you only pull on New Year's, anniversary, 0.5 anniversary, back to New Year's, so 4 big banners, it's like we said at the very start, there's so much more fun for me pulling on a big banner. Like, for example, yes, I did 60 multis for Uta. I walked away with 2 copies of Uta, right? But I end up walking away with like 4 or 5 new legends, which is way more appealing than it is chasing just one.
Yep.
I'm currently missing what? I'm missing maybe, let's see here, 11 legends total. The oldest being Izo and Kiku, the TM character. You know, I'm still missing V2 Brook. I've probably done well over 200 multis on his parts. Still missing him.
How's your Grand Voyage going?
Yeah, exactly. I don't play it. You know what I mean? And it comes back to that same problem, right? But you need to understand what Stump is saying is 100% factual. And I've believed in this for so many years now. Who gives a shit about all these banners coming out? Just don't pull on them. You want to stick it to the man. You really want to say, hey, Bandai, Global has a big voice in this community. Stop buying gem packs. Only spend your free-to-play gems on banners. If you don't get the legend, stop. Don't continue. And again, I'm giving the advice that I should be following. Stump's giving the advice he should be following too. But what we're saying to the common denominator, the commonality, the generalized player base, you can sit and complain to Bandai all you want. But if you're not taking action on your own accord, nothing is going to change. I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. If you, all your friends, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people, when these big events come around, don't buy gem packs, that's what's going to take effect. People are complaining about the whale Toadski for spending exorbitant amounts of money, or the whale Stump. When you think about it, what has more value? Stump spending $1,000 or 100 people, each of them spending $100 each?
Yeah.
Naturally, that 100 people. There's more money in the common situation of things. If you really want to stick it to the man, stop spending your gems. So stop spending money on gems. Spend your free-to-play gems. You get 600 of those a month. That is incredible.
That's insane.
You know?
Like, kudos to Bandai for that, because that's a very generous amount.
That's a lot of gems when you think about it. Obviously, it still doesn't, like, it's in comparison to the Sugo structure, there's not a lot, like, you're not going to get your guaranteed characters, this and that, but, like, if you stock up your 600 gems, and every 3, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, I would say roughly every 3 to 4 months is a big celebration banner, right?
Lately,
more or less in Treasure Cruise right now. So, like, you can at least guarantee yourself one of the new legends every, 4 months, purely from the free-to-play gems you've acquired, you know? And big celebrations bring in a lot of gems as well. So, like, there's that factor too. Yep. Just maybe people need to slow down, I think. Take a chill pill. There's a lot of problems with the game. There's a lot of good aspects too.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was about to say. Like, whilst this doesn't compensate for the content cycle and the things that we are talking about today that we do want more of, it does need to be recognized that there is still a lot of good there as well. And a lot of that gets blown under the rug because, yeah, you want the shiny new legend. Yeah, you want the new characters on release because that's when they are most valuable. That's when they're most used. However, you still don't need to use them per se. But is there better ways to do what they're doing? Yes, that's why we're sitting here right now.
Absolutely.
That's why we're talking about it. But at the same time, sitting there and just complaining, oh my god, there's so many banners, I can't keep up with all these banners, and then buying all these gem packs and then complaining about that I'm spending all this money, it's not getting anywhere. You got to take a step back and recognize what is in the game too. However,
we need to flip the script. flip the script from being 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Let's start taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back to start off with things. And eventually, let's just start taking 1 step forward at a time. If you're going to criticize, make sure you come up with a good reasoning. Don't just say there needs to be more content in the game. Provide some ideas. As we've been told in multiple situations, the necessary communication channels are listening to your feedback.
Yep.
You know? So if you're going to say TM sucks, that's great. TM does suck. I agree with you. I hate TM.
But why does it suck, Papi?
Why does it suck? What are the aspects you like? What are the aspects you dislike? What are the aspects you think you should improve as well? Those are the things you need to do in order for your feedback to have more substance to it. It's all going to review bomb the game, or to like say this part of the game sucks, or to say TM needs a revamp, Kazuna needs a revamp. Everyone's saying that, but no one's throwing out ideas. In all those threads that I posted, you posted, that I went and read on the Reddit and all that kind of stuff, people are just saying I'm not going to say everyone, but a lot of people are just saying revamp this, fix that, change this. But no one's providing actionable advice or actionable things that Bandai can do to make the game better. And that's where people are falling short, and when we need to reshift our focus from just being about fix this, but saying, hey, this is how you fix it, or this is how I think you fix it.
Yeah, big facts. I could not agree with you more on that one. The final thing I do want to talk about with you today, Papi, is the One Piece Film Red celebration.
Oh, we still got this to talk about, so I forgot.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I was lost in the sauce.
This pretty much ties into everything that we have been talking about
pretty much. Yeah.
Anyway, because of the content cycle and these celebrations. Now, when it comes to these big celebrations, you kind of expect a little bit more, and I guess this is where Bandai as a company and the game can kind of come across as, well, hang on, what about that big celebration when we did all of those things and we gave you all of those extras and all of that money that you said that we're making has been put into?
Yeah.
Now, if you guys have a look on the right-hand side of the screen, you guys will see a celebration. This celebration right here was the Stampede celebration.
Oh, yes.
So, this is Extra Island. You have Bullet and Luffy clashing. You have Nami and Robin. You have Lucci. You have Killer and Kid. You have the Buena Vista and I can't remember what the girl's name is. And then you also got Clash Sabo. Now, that's just on the island. You can see the little icons, and then you also have a Coliseum. You have a Coliseum as well.
Yep.
If I then slide across, this
Film Red. Oh no!
This is what we have for Film Red.
Dear. Where is it? Where's the content, Stump? Where is it?
We just have Uta. Uta's the only icon. She's there.
If you actually select that little tavern button, that might be where the content is.
Yeah, possibly. There's 99 plus 99 banners. What?
Oh my days.
So when it comes to these celebrations, you could always turn on. And by the way, this is half stamina to do Clash Sabo as well. So just little things like that. Like there's a lot to do. Little things like that. But hey, here's half stamina. It costs you 30 stamina instead of 60. Like when it comes to the big celebrations, and not even the big celebrations, like any celebration in general, this is the best way for them to sort of showcase where they are placing all of that money, all of that time, all of that investment in, and say, hey guys, we've had this in the back. This is what we've been working on. Please enjoy. But when you get a celebration that looks like this, and literally the characters that we've been getting, the content we've been getting are literally the same as the content cycle we've been getting for the last, year, or how long we've been merged for? A year and a bit. All they've done is literally put the Film Red sticker, the big stamp, that big Film Red stamp on all the characters. It gets a little bit disheartening. Not only because there's not a lot to do, but because if you get generally completely shafted, if you take all of the advice we just gave you and summoned only on Uta's banner and you walked away with the rare recruits and that was it, all you're then walking away with on top of that is a treasure map Sanji, a treasure map Chopper, and this Uta.
Done.
That's all you're walking away with from the celebration. And then maybe some gems here and there, and maybe some other free characters that you picked up. Some summonable characters. But walking away from a celebration with summonable characters should not be the hype of the celebration.
I agree.
On top of this as well, they gave Bullet a 6+, which they're doing with Uta, arguably. There was only 2 legends and 5 rare recruits? Was there 5 or 6 rare recruits? 6 rare recruits. 6 rare recruits, so not 9 and 6 legends. But there was how many of the free to play?
There was 4 of those farming ones that had like that had the specific Stampede limit break materials. Those black ones. There was the Clash.
No, not the Young Super.
There was the Buena Vista. Wasn't there also like the Quick Bullet as well? Quick Bullet.
That was the Blitz.
The damage ranking.
That was the damage ranking one. The Blitz. I think it was a Blitz battle.
Yeah, something like that as well.
Yeah, and then you got the free to play Buena Vista support as well.
Yep, which is still a great support.
Then you've got this free to play Buena Vista. You had the Clash Sabo. You had the Clash Lucci.
What I don't understand is that why have we not released Grand Party, Pyramble Grand Party in this celebration?
Oh yes, I totally forgot that they even announced that.
Exactly. This would have been the time to do it. Secondly, I don't understand. Oh, there you go. They've just announced, I believe that's 6-star. Is that Uta 6+? There you go. As we're speaking, they've just tweeted out 6+ Uta. Well, that's a movie spoiler and a half then. Nonetheless, though, as Stump is checking that out.
Yeah, I'm just putting it up on screen for everyone.
It's like imagine if because like what I don't get is like I reckon like it doesn't have to necessarily be like everything revolves around Film Red, right? Why don't you make like a boss rush where you verse Zephy, verse Tesoro, verse Bullet, verse Uta, verse whatever the case may be, and have that be a farming event, have that be a damage ranking event. Bring back, God forbid, but like the thing is, like, I just don't want celebrations to follow the same mantra of like, here's a blitz battle, here's a TM, here's a lottery, we didn't even have a lottery for this one, you know, like we didn't have like it's like, I think innovation is the key right now. It's not about revamping the old game modes, whilst that's important, and I agree with that. It's about really looking at new ways to play, new things to provide it. And Film Red was literally a spit in the face. In my opinion, and I'll hold this as my own opinion, this is the worst celebration Treasure Cruise has had, period. Outright. No questions asked in my eyes.
I'm not going to disagree with you worse because I can't think of anything that... Like, I can't, like, go back and think about the celebrations, but...
Maybe Fifth Annie, I would say. That would be the only other thing, too. Maybe Fifth Annie, because that was terrible. But I would personally hold out that this is the worst celebration we've had, period. And it sucks.
It's a fair call.
It really does hurt me because, like, Film Red is so damn hype.
It is.
So many characters. So many, like, things they could have done that they did not do. Because everything has to revolve around income.
Yeah.
So everything got turned into a rare recruit or a summonable character. And it's like, that's cool, but like allow other things to occur as well. Like, come on. It's fucking 2022. We can do some hot shit, man. Come on.
Yeah, I do understand as well, like, there is spoilers and stuff they do need to be cautious of and whatnot.
I agree. I mean, look at what they've just released.
I couldn't really find it, but I'll go back to it in a second.
That's all right. You're not in the Jabroni Discord. I'm not going to say the name, but you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I haven't been spoiled. I haven't been spoiled about this movie at all. All my spoilers have come from OPTC, and I already have a pretty good idea of what the 6+ is going to be and like who the villain is. All purely from the little crumbs that OPTC has already given us.
That's there you go. I've sent you that. I've sent you the tweet from the Japanese account.
Okay, cool.
You know, but like. Even this is like the audacity for them to release Uta and they're like, a couple of days later, like, we're just gonna sneak in this little news part here where it's like, hey, here's a 6+.
Yeah.
What? Like, come on, dog.
Yeah. So I do want to give credit as well, though, quickly though, to Bandai once again that Uta, this 5-star Uta and this 5+ Uta is very, very good. Great free to play character. The login Luffy they gave us. exceptional character. Very, very good character. Two very high caliber free-to-play characters.
Correct.
However, I would have...
Where are you using them, Stump?
Sorry?
Where are you going to use them, Stump?
Yeah, took the words out of my mouth.
There you go.
Now, they did well with Luffy. He was very good for the Blitz battle. And this Uta, she's very good for this treasure map. However, how long did the Blitz battle go for? A day? 2 days? How long does this treasure map go for? It goes for 3-4 days. And then these characters then get put back in your box and you never see them again.
You never see them again.
Now, yes, you could argue that all of these characters on screen right now from the Stampede celebration have the same logic, but that ties back into the things that we addressed at the start of this video and where you can use these particular characters. But as a celebration, like what Papi just said, I don't really care if you go like back to Stampede, go back to Film Z, go back to 3D. Wait, was 3D2Y technically a movie? Like all of those different like movies. And bring back the content. How good would it be if the Skull on the unlockable quest to 6+ bullet, they gave it out for free. It was just an island available throughout the whole of this event.
Yeah.
Like, that is just so nice for new players. That's a new player thing or a mid-game player thing. Then if they pull Bullet, who just got his level limit break, on these banners, now they can super evolve him for free. The free-to-play Bonavista, the support one that you get from that event. By the way, if you guys need that support, you can actually still get it. You just have to unlock the 6+ for Bullet. It's a bit of annoying, but if that character was just a 1 stamina and it was just like a quick run through and they just gave you that support, just here you go.
Yeah.
As part of it, the celebration to say, okay, well, I missed Stampede Celebration because I wasn't playing or I'm new to the game, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
This film celebration still ties into the Stampede stuff. You could easily have brought the clashes of made the Clash Island that they have always available, make it movie themed, had brought a Coliseum with Z and Iron and Bins.
Yeah,
and
everything movie related should have been available throughout this time.
Just fill this up. Fill this empty space. It's just so empty.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I get it, it's hard. I get it. Development time, it takes time. And it's not easy to just make this kind of stuff. I understand that. But it's when you have so much time, surely in the spare time that they're not releasing stuff, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Let's be realistic. Come on now. They're not spending this time creating new units. Something needs to be cooking right now, and I sure as hell isn't this grand party bullshit.
Yeah,
because I know that thing's gonna stink after 2 days.
Yeah.
So let's be realistic here. We need to spend the time more efficiently. It just needs to be spent more efficiently. Come on now, let's be. Come on, please. The reason, let me kick it to you. The reason why Stump and I have been here for almost 2 hours now nitpicking is we fucking love this game.
Yep.
We play this shit every damn day. You nitpick at the things you love. And that's why we're coming at it from the perspective of being I want to spend more time. I want to play. I want to have this on at work. I want to be playing this on the weekend. I want to be able to pick it up and put it down whenever I want. I want to have the flexibility of doing these kinds of things. Give me a reason to be stuck in the app for longer, doing stuff that I'm enjoying doing, not sitting here and when TM comes out, as of the day we're recording this, TM comes out in what, 6.5 hours pretty much from now?
Hours, yeah.
Every single person on TM comes out is going to say after the first 2 hours, I wish this was over.
Yep. Yeah, that's me.
You know what I mean?
Stream, I'm kind of over it.
Fix the TM structure. Fix Kizuna. Fix Part Rumble. That's all well and good, but give us more things to play.
Yeah.
Give us more things to do. Come on, dog.
The last thing I wanted to touch on as well, with what you just mentioned about there's development time and stuff like that. This is September now.
Yeah.
Normally, this is the half annie, right?
Half annie will be about October, November. So about a month from now, yeah.
So, and whilst, yes, this film Red stuff started a little bit earlier, normally for global, and I totally know, I totally understand that they tailor make this for Japan audiences. They've got the development teams there. They've got the finances there to set this up. Now, I do think this sort of falls back a little bit on Oda, so I don't really want to throw Bandai too much under the the bridge here about this celebration, because I think Oda did rush what's happening in One Piece at the moment to sort of tie into the Film Red stuff as well. So they were probably under that, because like, let's be real, like what were the legends that came before the Film Red characters?
Let me get it up for you, boss man.
What was the content like?
We had Hiyori and Ulti.
So those characters, they weren't made in what, June? They were
released in. They were made of July 26th was when they released.
Yes, like
no shot that they were released. Yeah, exactly.
They would have made those characters in like March. Like they would have had that ready to go. It's not like they made them straight away. And sure, they've probably planned their schedule, and then all of a sudden Oda's gone, oh, by the way, Film Red's coming, guys. Like anime episodes of Film Red are happening. So they do have to plan, and they do have to tie into that as well, which is totally understandable. But it comes back to what we literally said before. Take all of this that you see on screen right now and just put it here. And just put it there. And then have all the Film Red stuff as well. Then new players, mid-game players can still get all this other stuff done. They don't have to go searching for it, and it's in front of them. Whilst, yes, we want new innovative ways to play the game.
Yeah.
From content we already have, they still need to be throwing this type of content at the mid-game player, at the starting player. Because there is so much to do in this game. So much to do from day one. But how often are you using Clash Mihawk? How often are you, like, is there even any point for the new player to go back and do Clash Mihawk?
No,
there's not.
I'll be honest with you. I've had 3 accounts in my time playing Treasure Cruise, right? Let's be transparent here, right? I was a cheap gemmer. My first account got locked, right? I had a second account, phone died, didn't SNS back it up properly somehow. Second account got lost. Third account, I'm on now. I have no reason to go back to old Colosseums. Yep. No reason to go back to old raids. No reason at all to do any of these things. Because I'm not going to use those units. Unless and if in the hypothetical situation that I need them, it's going to take me 2 seconds to go back and farm them. Because the like you said, the power creep is on a different plane right now.
Yep.
In comparison. So, like, if I need to really go back and farm Duval, like Clash Duval, let me do that in like 3 seconds.
Got it.
Like, like easy money. Done. Beep, 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 beep. See you later. Like, come on, dog. So, give me a reason to go back and do it too. Like, that's what we need. We need reasons to go back and do it.
Yeah, and that's not even for the end game player. That's for the mid game player. That's for the starting player as well. So, whilst all of these ideas, like, sure, there's going to be rebuttals for all of them. We are very aware of that. Exactly what Papi said. This is all coming from a place of, I love playing this game.
Correct.
I know people that, like, yeah, it's probably easy to sit there and go like, oh yeah, Stump and Papi, they just complained for an hour and a half, 2 hours about said stuff. Well, yeah, we had our complaints.
That's your prerogative.
That's
your prerogative. If you want to think that, by all means, think that. But there's a lot of good content in this video right now.
Exactly.
That, like, if anyone at Bandai is listening, these are all for free. Yeah, have these ideas. Please move on them. Action them. Make them realistic. Because, like, if you want to think we're complaining for the last 3 hours, 2 hours, you don't understand. We've been in the helm of this game. I'm a blow smoke up our ass, leading the fucking community of this game for a long ass time now. Especially Todd. Todd has the weight of the community on his fucking shoulders. If we're being realistic here, I know he hates when I blow smoke up his ass, but I'm going to do it anyway, right?
No, Todd's such a humble guy too, by the way. So, by the way, like, I do want to give him a shout out, not just on the aspect of he has a lot of pressure, he absorbs that pressure, he handles it so well.
Correct.
And, like, big love to the king.
But if Todd quits, it's done. Majority of a lot of globals fucking going too. So, like, what we're trying to get at is that, like, we are, and I don't know if I even put myself in the same conversation here, but, like, the people at the helm are fighting tooth and nail. So when Todd or Stump specifically say the correct communication channels have been made aware, trust that this is the case. Come on now.
Yeah.
Like, trust that the people that are making a voice and trying their best to echo these sentiments are doing they possibly can. If these boys wanted to snake you for your views, they'd be fucking doing it. They wouldn't be saying shit to the right channels. But because we all care about the game the same amount, We all care about it a lot. And at the end of the day, caring about it means we want the best for it. And wanting the best for it means it's like having a best friend. If something doesn't look right on them, you let them know. Because there's trust built between you and them. You know? And right now, Treasure Cruise and me, we've lost a lot of that trust. But it doesn't mean you can't regain it back. Which means pointing out the issues, exclaiming why we don't have certain things, expressing your concerns, but simultaneously providing that feedback, providing constructive criticism, providing means to solutions. I remember once, I'm not going to mention names, but I was specifically told that we as a community are very good at coming up with problems, but not coming up with solutions. I disagree. I think that we as a community, and by we as a community, I mean me, because I want to show off a little bit. We are very good at coming up with problems, but simultaneously coming up with the solutions to those problems as well. It's just very hard because at the end of the day, this is run by a Japanese company.
Yeah.
Japanese companies are notorious with being very rigid in their structures and not changing on the fly and not doing those kinds of things. And again, it kind of leads back to the conversation that at the end of the day, Global is kind of the minority in this situation. If JP's flying and making money, then what's the value in Global changing everything just to satisfy the Global players?
Yeah, that's it. And there's something that came up in stream as well. Like sure, whilst there's more active accounts than there's ever been, there's more money being made than ever before. I just don't see why there should be a ceiling there. I don't see why that has to be an argument that they're doing everything right, that everything is going perfectly because they are on an upwards progression. Who says that upwards progression, I don't even think that's the right word, is not a one that's going to get them to where they need to be 5, 10, 1 year down the line. So these are things, like I said at the start, I don't expect change overnight. No one does.
No, never. You never should.
And no one should anyway. But hopefully someone out there takes any of these points, half of these points, all of these points, and implements them into the game somehow. Not only for me, not only for Papi, but for you, for them, for everyone in the community, and for every new player that comes into the community. Because like we said, we love this game, and we want to see it thrive, we want to see it grow well past when One Piece is done, because you bet your ass, once One Piece is done, I'm going to be looking for more One Piece content, and this is a great way to get it.
Correct.
Well, I think that's going to...
Easy money.
I think that's going to wrap it up for today, Papi. That was
yeah, I think so. That was a free little podcast episode for you jabronis at home. Make sure you listen the whole way through. If you made it this far, comment down below. Fuck Stump.
Yes, fuck's that guy, right? I've had Shanks on this screen the whole time. We haven't even dropped the fuck Stump.
Showing off in that.
All right, Night. I challenge you to timestamp the exact time where we said fuck Stump. I'm going to DM him that so he can sift through this. But Papi, as always, I really appreciate your insight, man. The king of critical analysis.
I appreciate it. You know, I love breaking down Treasure Cruise. It's my favorite thing to do. I love playing this game. And I love trying to find new ways to make the game as good as it possibly can be. I may be a negative Twitter presence, but I have some good ideas at times too, you know. So
mate, that's
why I appreciate your time, and thank you so much for having me.
Anytime, my man. Make sure to head over to Papi. I'll leave all his socials in the description below. Make sure to go hit this man with a sub over on his channel. He's doing a Captain's Lodge podcast at the moment as well. Make sure to check that out. It's very riveting stuff, very interesting stuff. And obviously GGP as well. He does a lot of hard work over there. Please make sure to go over there and send them some love. A lot of the stuff back scenes you guys don't see, that all comes from Papi. So big love to you, my man, and I really appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
As always, go do all the good stuff. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Most importantly, though, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Peace.